Alright guys, we're going to take a look at the Easton Helios Pro Carbon Arrow. Now, anytime I'm talking about arrows, especially higher end arrows, I like to mention something just to be upfront with everybody straight out of the gate. When we're dealing with this type of arrow, it is virtually, it is extremely hard to make a wrong decision here. When you're picking out an arrow, especially a higher end arrow like this, there's not many bad ones out there. Like, manufacturers can't get away with making bad product anymore, especially in this price point. The market just eats them alive. There's too much competition. So at the end of the day, what you got to look at are the things that are important to you as a shooter or a bow hunter. Do you want something heavier to help help your KE and knockdown power? Do you want something lighter that'll be faster and help boost speed on whatever rig you're using? Or in this case, do you want something that's kind of in between, not too heavy, not too light, sort of balances out the two? So when we're talking about higher end arrows, I just want you to know it really comes down to that kind of thing. Even down to which one you cosmetically find the most appealing. I mean, the preferences go a long way. So when I'm talking about these arrows, I want to do my best just to be upfront about that and let you know that I'm going to detail everything the best I can in hopes that and everything and seeing it will give you the ability to make an educated decision on what arrow might work best for you. With that said, like I was saying, this is the Easton Helios Pro, and if you ever try to look up reviews on this or anything like that, you'll probably notice that the Helios and the Helios Pro, you can only find them at Hunter's Friend, and there's actually a reason for that too. This arrow exists because Hunter's Friend was kind of the driving force behind it to make it exist. We got with Easton, we got with them and told them we wanted an arrow that would do a few really important things. One, look great. So we got with their design team and we designed it to just look as wicked as we could. And if you notice, I mean, the flames, it's a really good looking wrap. It's bright. You got the black and red scheme going on, which I love. So that was an important thing too. The other one would be the most important, and that is that it wouldn't just vanish overnight or get discontinued without us knowing from year to year. So the most important thing we wanted was to know that this arrow was going to be here and be safe, and we could always just keep ordering them from Easton, and they wouldn't just discontinue them and leave us high and dry. And that comes from, because I mean, if you've been a bow hunter for more than a year or two, you probably know, or you've ran into it, manufacturers, pretty well any manufacturer, arrows, parts, anything like that, bows even, sometimes they'll just decide to drop a product. If it's run for a couple of years, they'll drop it, change it, call it something different. And when they do that, especially with arrows, it kind of puts you in a hard spot, because once you're out of that arrow you've been using, you got to get a different arrow and probably retune and resight your bow depending on how different they are. So when that happened earlier this year with the ACC Pros, and it left a lot of people in a bad spot because there wasn't much out there that would match very well. So we wanted to know that this arrow was not going to get discontinued, that it would be here from year to year to year, and basically we've got the power to keep this arrow running as long as we want. So we've sold thousands of these, and we know they're going to be here when they need more, and that's a really great thing. The other really important thing we wanted to happen was that we wanted, when it came time to make a pro shaft, which, like I said, straight to a thousandth of an inch, quality of carbon is about as good as it can get. We wanted it to be we wanted to get it at a price that we could pass it on. Like, there's dozens and dozens of high-end arrows like this that are much more expensive. So we worked it out to where we could get an arrow that is as good, if not better, as a lot of those really expensive $180 to $200 dozens. But the price is usually pretty far from that, actually, and we're able to include it in a lot of other packages and give people a lot of good deals on them, and that's great. So those were really the three most important things we wanted to hit, and then at the end of the day, it turned out to be quite an awesome arrow, and everybody who gets it buys more, and I mean, it's neat. So Easton kind of knocked it out of the park on that one. They went a long way to meet what we were asking, and they did a good job. So like I said, this is the Helios Pro, and if you'll notice, it does not say Hunter's Friend custom arrow or anything like that on it. We weren't interested in this as a marketing tool or an advertisement tool. We just wanted a good arrow. We wanted to be able to have something that'll be around from year to year that we can use, and we know it'll work great for new shooters and seasoned shooters alike. And being able to have a pro arrow that is much more affordable is a big deal, especially when you're looking at those higher end prices. But it does have a standard factory Easton S knock, so any lighted knock out there will work great from your favorite manufacturer. We do cut and insert based on your specs. So that's something else we'll take care of. And just so you know, this still has the standard Easton spine rating, so it's got 340s, 400s, and 500s. So it fits pretty well anybody outside of some really, rare circumstances, super long draw lengths, 80-pound bows, things like that. So just be careful to spine it correctly. If you're getting a dozen or if you're getting a bow, we'll take care of that for you. But like I said, these are the Helios Pro. Check them out. See if they look good to you, feel good to you, weigh out right to you. Just make sure they're right for you, and we'll take care of the rest.